Hello everybody, thank you very much for joining me today for another Alfred Hitchcock Presents review. Today I'm going to be talking about Season 5, Episode 16, The Icon of Elijah, starring Oscar Homolka, and as always there will be episode spoilers. So this episode wound up being pretty interesting, I have to say. It's one of those moral lesson episodes, but it does a good job of stating its message without being overly preachy, which I always appreciate, and overall I wound up liking this episode. So it starts with a man named Carpius, and he owns an antique shop, and business is not that great, and he's complaining about the island where he lives. Doesn't seem to be a very happy person at this point. There's also a woman that lives with him named Malvira, and she's complaining to him of not having enough money, and she doesn't seem overly happy either. So these two men come by the shop, and one of them is looking for something called the Icon of Elijah. Like the episode title, and it seems to be worth something. He asks Carpius about it, and Carpius says he's working on getting it. So the men leave. They do actually buy something, and then Malvira starts complaining again. She says she's going to leave him, and she's actually kind of annoying in my opinion. But he threatens to kill her if she leaves, which is definitely a bit extreme, and then he laughs, but I'm not sure he was really joking. So that's the setup for our episode. It does take a while to get going, I will say, but it's still pretty interesting at this point. So at this point, a man from the monastery comes by and gives Carpius a copy of the Icon of Elijah, which happens to be just what he's looking for, very conveniently. So this lets Carpius know where the real one is. So Carpius goes to this monastery with a plan, and he talks to the head monk there and puts on an act about being very interested in the history of this icon and what it symbolizes, and wants to see the real one. And the monk takes him at his word, and eventually they look at it. So basically Carpius has talked his way into staying at this monastery, but of course he has bad intentions of stealing the idol, and being Alfred Hitchcock presents, we probably know this won't go very well for Carpius, and sure enough it really doesn't, at least from his point of view. So he gets caught sneaking around once, but of course he doesn't learn his lesson. He tries again. He decides he's going to replace the copy he has and take the real one, but he gets caught by the monk who's on guard, and honestly this plan isn't that great to begin with. So Carpius kills the guard, and the other monks come in. He swears it was an accident, and surprisingly the head monk takes him at his word again. So Carpius thinks he's in the clear at this point. He's told he must repent, and Carpius thinks he'll just say probably a few quick words and leave, but it turns out that his penance is that he must stay at the monastery basically indefinitely and reflect on what he did. So I guess Carpius will have a long time to do so. So this is an interesting ending for the show, a bit different, but it works in the context of the episode. Overall, I surprisingly like the Icon of Elijah. Oscar Homolka gives an entertaining performance in the lead, and although this isn't the most suspenseful episode, and it is a bit predictable that he'll get caught in the end, I thought overall the episode worked really well. It takes a while to get going, but once it did, I enjoyed the Icon of Elijah, and I'm going to rate it a 3.5 out of 5. Definitely an episode I recommend for fans of the show. As always, feel free to leave a comment on this episode. Thanks for your continued support, and thanks very much for watching.